Okay, mine damer og herrer, vi gør klar til del 2 af vores episke fabel i Detective Grimoire. Vi skal opklare det her morgåde, vi fandt ud af sidst, hvor det viste sig måske ikke at være monstret alligevel. Ikke surprise. Der var morderen, måske var det en bandit i stedet for, eller måske var ham, der blev myrdet, faktisk. Lidt en bad guy i sig selv. Så lad os kigge videre på det. Jeg blev lidt interesseret i at se, om der var flere sager i spillet her. For det håbede jeg lidt på. Flere cases. Men ved at slå op på, hvor lang tid spillet tog gennemføre på How Long to Beat, så fandt jeg ud af, at spillet her åbenbart kun er cirka 2,5 til 3 timer lang. Og jeg har allerede spillet 2 timer. Så jeg tror desværre kun, der er en case i det spil her. Jeg havde så håbet på, at det var sådan lidt Professor Layton-agtigt. Eller ikke Professor Layton, hvad hedder han? Phoenix Wright, hvor der er sådan flere sager her spil. Det var desværre ikke i det her tilfælde. Og hvis jeg husker rigtigt, så skulle vi netop til at tage hen til den gamle dame for at få kigget lidt på os.
Someone please tell me why there's a house here. Well, the lights are on. Maybe somebody's home.
For lige at få undersøgt det creme, der var på diverse ting, vi har fået her. Shit, vi mængde tager. Skal vi se engang godt, hvordan. Der har fået de her 2 nye ting her, der kan være.
I recognize some of those men. Unfortunately, they've hunted in the swamp before.
Before it became a protected area?
Before that, yes. And one of them after that.
Let's see. First thing we do, then tap the... And now...
Det er mærkeligt, at den giver mig det her
Got it!
puzzle, quote unquote.
Now I know what that liquid consists of. I'll write it down. What's going on here? That was definitely the same as the other tests.
Det er fordi, det både er så simpelt, men også fordi det er den samme hver gang.
Let's see. First thing, then tap the...
Got this.
And now... Got it! Now I know what that liquid consists of. I'll write it down in my... The swamp slime. It's all the same.
It is all the same.
It's the exact same liquid again. There's something about that green slime.
Ja. My hairstyle. Nice. The swamp creep creature. Nej, det er det. Hvad er det, vi skal nå frem til her? Something about the green slime. Okay, der er noget med den grønne slime. Det der med det, der er jo, at alle de ting her, de er covered i samme slim. Vi vil gerne have med kostymer der. Så vi siger the leggings og the fire poker. Black leggings and the fire poker.
The black leggings found at the crime scene and the fireplace poker are covered in the same swamp slime. Oh, that doesn't make sense, does it?
Hvad? Hvad mener du? Okay, det er faktisk første gang, jeg ramte ved siden af med de her predictions. Jeg vil da sige, det er rigtigt, men det kan godt være, det ikke selv er relevant. Okay. Hvad kan det ellers være spændende at se? I found the crime scene. Found in the treehouse. Den der var fundet in the treehouse. of magic, but that's nice.
The fireplace broker, found in the treehouse, and the black leggings are covered in the same swamp slime. Maybe I just need to change one thing.
Altså, de er covered in green powder. Er det en slime, de er covered? Hvad var det, du fundet the crime scene? Den har du fundet the crime scene. Og den har jeg vist prøvet, den her kombination, hvis du lige husker. Treehouse, er det hende damen, jeg er i, eller er det...
The fireplace broker found at the crime scene, and the black leggings are covered in the same swamp slime. Sally's leggings. They link her with the crime scene. I'll have to ask her about it.
Okay. Så det var bare fordi jeg bytter rundt på de to spor. Det er selvfølgelig den ene, der var fundet ved crime scene, og den anden var ikke.
You've been here so long, you must have crossed paths with Remington a few times. What did you think of him?
That man was a threat to the swamp. We'll be better off without him. Hopefully the curtain will fall on his little tourist attraction as well.
Better off? With a killer on the loose now?
There have been murderers loose in the swamp before.
What are you talking about?
In my time here, I've seen the swamp invaded by men, by hunters, several times. They're relentless.
What were they hunting?
Boggy.
Wait, what about Boggy? Is that why no one has seen him in 60 years?
They always fell short of their ultimate goal. That just meant they came back again and again, doing more harm each time.
But this area is protected by law, right?
It is now, but some men have no respect for laws, of any kind. They tried to get me to leave my home. I stood my ground.
Obviously. But this whole area is a tourist attraction now. I doubt Remington would have allowed anyone to march into Boggy's bog with a gun and start hunting down its main attraction.
Han har lavet tourist attraction, fordi han selv ville efter den.
You should ask someone else.
Jeg kan se, at jeg mangler en suspect. Jeg ved, om der rent faktisk er the real bogey. Lad os se. Der er ikke noget spændende clue, vi lige kan bringe op. Vi hører en om den der måske. Men hun har en kærlighedsaffære med ham engang.
He drew me into his journal. I was 20 years old. That's the end of the story.
I bet it's not. Does this explorer have a name?
Yes.
Are you going to tell me?
No.
Yes. Så nu burde jeg lige snakke med hende der ved The Gift Shop. Jeg kan lige prøve at høre om over ved caféen først, om jeg har det.
You said you knew Remington?
He and I knew each other for a long time. I came to work at his tourist attraction in the early days, when he needed help.
Well, what kept you here?
I know most people wouldn't want to work in a place like this. I actually like it here, so I was happy to oblige.
You might like it, but I still don't see why anyone would build a tourist attraction here.
Mr. Remington has his reasons. He probably had several. I don't presume to know what they all were. Even though we were friends, he had some secrets, some hobbies, that I was happy to let him keep secret.
Secrets? Hobbies? A secret hobby?
He was a man with a dream, I can tell you that much.
Hunt down weird-ass animals.
One of Mr. Remington's secrets. I never wanted to know the details, but these men travel the world, seeking mysterious animals to hunt. They consider myths and legends to be the ultimate prey.
også lige et sted, jeg gerne vil hen. Jeg vil gerne lige tage over til protest og se, om jeg kan snakke med nogen. Ham er... What? Hvis jeg snakker med ham nu? Nice. Jeg skal bare lige tænke der først, så. Helt ny mand. Jeg skal måske lige snakke med dem her.
What can you tell me about these designs for a boggy costume?
Nothing whatsoever.
You're sure you didn't see anything like this while you were filming yesterday? Wait, hold on a minute. What if
Don't you dare ask.
This costume isn't your doing, is it? Made for your movie, I mean?
My friend, there will be no costumed idiots within the viewfinder of my camera. I can assure you that.
What about your boggy movie? Isn't that gonna be, like, a guy in a costume, or a puppet, or one of those weird robot things?
Technology has been kind to people like me. We no longer have any need for such tomfoolery. I can create a perfectly believable swamp creature within the confines of a computer. Much cheaper, too.
Huh. I suppose you've met with our murder victim, Richard Remington.
Yes, I've been in and out of this place for a while now. Naturally, I've crossed paths with Remington a number of times. Good value, that one. A real raconteur, you know.
You liked him? So far, I'm getting the impression he wasn't the most popular guy around here.
Well, that much is clear, isn't it? The man obviously slipped up somewhere, made an enemy or two, and bam, that's that. You just can't be too careful, can you?
Yeah, I think he did have an enemy or two. Or three. But you liked him.
I respected him. Good head on his shoulders. Good business sense, that man. He understood how to make things work for him.
Det er spændende, at vi kan vise ham. Custom design. Det synes jeg har fundet alle... Okay, fundet alle sporene, skulle jeg sige. Man 2 år.
You won't be getting very far discussing that with me. Try someone less important.
Tak for tippet.
I found these designs for a costume.
A boggy costume.
Aha, the legendary swamp creature.
Yeah, that's the one.
But these are just a child's drawings, are they not?
You think?
Perhaps. It's difficult to tell.
You saw Remington last night, but had you met him before? Did you know him?
I've never really spoken with him, but we've come into contact a few times. Vincent likes to handle that kind of work, and I like to let him.
What do you think of this place? The tourist attraction, I mean.
I can't say I like the idea of a natural area like this becoming commercialized.
I know! I just can't understand why anyone would even try.
I think Mr. Remington had his reasons. He looked like a man with a couple of secrets.
Like what?
I have no idea. If I knew, they wouldn't be secrets.
Det er selvfølgelig ret i, min ven. Det er selvfølgelig ret i. Så til den her swamp juice, den er rimelig central.
That's great.
For den her case.
I'm sorry, I have not seen that before.
So you claim.
That's the food I saw Mr. Remington eating at the cafe last night.
Before he got ill and rushed back to his office?
That's right.
This is going down in my notebook. It might be important.
Vi har godt på vej til at løse den her case. Så kommer jeg snakke med min pige over.
So what can you tell me about your relationship with Richard Remington?
I didn't have one. I think I spoke to him twice, ever. He usually seemed really busy, but more like preoccupied.
Preoccupied? Like he was thinking about something else? Something that wasn't this tourist attraction?
Who can say? What do old men think about?
What? Are you implying that I know the answer to that?
Så har vi lige det challenge, vi skal kaste hen over hende. Lad os lige se, hvad kan først give nogle kostymer.
I can draw way better than that.
Can you show me?
There's no time. Maybe in a sequel.
Okay. Hvem kunne have noget spændende at sige om? Jeg kan ikke nogen her. Jeg kommer i gang med den her challenge.
The black leggings you found in your bag this morning. They're covered in the same slime that was on the murder weapon.
Everything in this swamp is covered in slime. What's your angle, Grimoire?
Your black leggings were part of the murderer's costume.
Costume? Is that why someone took them out of my bag last night?
Well, you know, I don't have proof someone else took them.
If I had been wearing them when I committed a crime, do you think I would hand them over to a detective the second he shows up? Besides, look at them. What do you notice?
Hold. You're too fat to wear these.
They're loose and stretched.
That's right, someone else. Someone larger than me has worn these. They're stretched out, especially at the waist. It's pretty obvious.
So, let's see. Somebody stole them to use in their body costume, and then put them back in your bag when they were done?
If you say so. It's not my job to know all the details. It's my job to sell souvenirs. Do you want a souvenir?
Oh, my, yes, but only if you choose one for me.
You look like you could use something to wind up. You can take this one.
Okay, fedt. I love it. I love it. Mange tak. Okay. Ikke det, hvad jeg skal bruge den til, men tak. Okay, så nu tænker jeg, at vi går til ham der, The Protester. Snakker med ham.
These flower petals seem a little out of place, lying on the ground over there.
Og det er dem, der var oppe ved museet, dem her.
I'm impressed someone managed to pitch a tent here. And I'm impressed someone would want to. It's a colorful, boggy-themed padlock. He's staring into my soul. It should open if I set the right number.
Har vi noget nummer? Det eneste nummer, jeg lige kom til om, det er tidspunktet, hvor han blev dræbt på. Og kigge vores sagsmapper her i stedet. Vi kigger den der. Spændende notes. Min notes, det er bare et kort fedt. Hvilken tidspunkt var han dræbt på ham her? Det skulle være et årstal for, når de kom til øen her. Kan jeg huske det? Hvor det var? Jeg ser ikke rigtigt. Ikke rigtigt. Vi snakker videre om næsten.
Ah! You've arrived at a bad time, my friend. For once, they don't actually want tourists walking around this place.
I always arrive at a bad time. It's what I do. I'm a detective, not a tourist.
My apologies. It's just, you have the same wide-eyed expression as the kids that come here. Running around, spending their parents' money, you know.
Well, you know, it's not every day I visit a swamp full of such unique specimens.
It's no problem. You're just thinking what we all thought when we arrived for the first time.
Why didn't they put in a bathroom?
No, you're thinking, this place is beautiful. What a lucky man I am to be here.
I am I? Well, if you say so.
Edward Everstone, at your service.
That's a pretty cool name. Can I call you Ed?
You don't need to. Everyone just calls me Echo.
Echo. A good swimmer, hvad har det med Echo at gøre? Selvfølgelig Echo lod eller sådan. Godt tage den der med lidt aggressiv.
Because you'd bounce if I threw you against the wall?
What?
No, bad cop.
Because I always come back. Again and again, until my job is done.
You're protesting, right?
I certainly am. And now that you're here, I'm getting you involved.
What does that mean? Yeah, I haven't got time to hold up signs for you. I'm sorry.
You simply have to hear my message and take it with you.
Go ahead, I'm all ears. Plus, I have a little notebook.
What was the first thing you felt when you saw the sign for Boggy's Bog looming over you?
Well, I thought it was...
Not thought. Felt.
I felt... Well, something seemed wrong. There wouldn't be a tourist attraction in the middle of a swamp like this. There shouldn't be.
My job is done. Clearly your brain is working perfectly, Detective.
So you're against the tourist attraction? Yeah, let's see. You'd rather this area was kept as a natural habitat, right?
Right again. And that precise word, habitat. First and foremost, I'm protesting for animal rights.
Okay.
Well, okay, I'm following you, but it's not like they're cutting down trees or anything like that, right?
All animals deserve the right to live in peace, and I promise you, on a normal day, this place is far from peaceful.
Are you talking about the swamp creature? About Boggy?
A creature like that. He's earned the right to be left alone. We're fools to invite ourselves into his home like this on a daily basis, assuming he's not going to mind. Assuming he'll keep to himself and let us walk around with his face on our t-shirts.
Well, I agree. I think he should be left alone. But like you said, he can probably handle himself. And if no one has even seen him in 60 years, I don't really see the problem.
Unlike you, Detective, I never had an academic calling in life. I was never even a talented artist or musician or anything. So instead, I made the decision to stand up for those who were getting a raw deal.
Yes. Jeg ser det jo som en begyndelsen på vores rejse sammen, så at sige. Så det er jo det er stort.
You come here every day.
Yes, I do.
Well, I'm only going to ask you about one of those days. What were you doing yesterday evening?
I was here at my protest spot until fairly late. Then I went to get something to eat at Harper's Cafe before I...
Wait, you ate at the cafe here? Doesn't supporting the tourist attraction like that kind of go against your protest?
A man has to eat, doesn't he? I don't think the meager contributions of one person are going to keep this place afloat. Especially now.
And you're sleeping here? Doesn't it get cold at night?
Well, I came prepared, of course. I usually find myself with 1 or 2 extra layers to wear. Most of this bulk is padding, I promise you.
I'm sure it is. So you stayed here the whole night?
That's right. And I admit I may have heard some stranger than usual sounds floating around the swamp last night.
What kind of sounds?
It's impossible to say. This place fills with the most terrifying sounds at night. Hundreds of animals, some tiny, some much larger, awaken and make their own protests. Every night until the sun rises in the morning.
Insects make noises at night. Okay, I've written it down.
Checks out.
What can you tell me about these designs for a costume? A Boggy costume.
It's Boggy! I must admit, I've been a fan of his before I ever came to the swamp.
A fan? So you're interested in cryptozoology?
Oh, no, I meant, well, Boggy has been in all kinds of cartoons and comic strips. He's one of the greatest characters of the last 100 years. I've got some comics in my tent. You really should see.
But he was only discovered 60 years ago.
Oh, that's true. Well, I rounded up.
But what about his costume? Have you seen anyone wearing it?
I can honestly say I've never seen anyone wearing anything like that. And I'm a very observant person.
So what did Mr. Remington think of you? I mean, protesting in the middle of a swamp every day.
It wasn't his swamp. If he ever truly thought it was, then he was even more of a fool than he seemed.
But he didn't like you hanging around, right?
That man was exceptionally skilled at ignoring me, ignoring anything he didn't like.
So, what, he just left you alone?
He expected me to get bored and go home. He figured I'd get sick of this place and he'd have it back to himself.
But he didn't want it to himself, did he? He wanted lots of people to come visit all the time, surely.
I'm sure it says that in the brochure. Yes.
Simpelthen nogle gode clues, vi kan simpelthen finde. Roundup tøj. Jeg ved ikke, at vi skulle bruge den til, men...
This is the journal, correct? The one that man left here 60 years ago?
You seem a little unsure of the details. Shouldn't you have read up on all this stuff?
Forgive me. It's hard for me to get the image of Boggy as the lovable cartoon character out of my mind. He's just so iconic. Did you know, in 1973...
But you're protesting to protect the real swamp creature. The cartoon character is just some commercial byproduct,
1973.
right?
Det kunne være koden jo til
Yes, of course.
til låsen derovre. Okay, det gør har jo lidt til en suspect, ikke? Fordi vi ved, at... eller vi ved ikke, men vi har en formodning om, at hvem der har tegnet det kostyme her og lavet de her 3 ting til... Som sandsynligvis har været morderen. Så det lyder til at være tegneudgaven. Og det er den her, man er fan af, så det kan jo godt, det kaster det lys af på ham som en...
I'm afraid I have no idea.
Mistænkt.
Show it to somebody else.
Goddammit. Du er lige din yndlingsfigur.
No thanks, my friend. I'm afraid I have no idea.
Så burde du vide noget om den, hvis han har været over at spise på.
Show it to somebody else.
Ikke dude, det er der skulle være fan af det her
No
monster.
thanks, my friend.
Sammen.
What?
You're not a bad detective.
Well, I found the photo in Remington's office. It was ripped up, though. I think he was some kind
He
of...
was a lot of things. Don't lose that picture. And show it to Mr. Harper before you leave.
Mr. Harper? Jeg skal lige hurtigt ned en gang. Hvorfor skulle lige præcis vise det til ham? Det var ham filminstruktøren, der ville lave film.
I'm afraid I have no idea.
Jeg kunne ellers police file.
Show it to somebody else.
Ikke lige andet her, måske den
No thanks, my friend.
Så jeg vil høre om nogle af de her andre suspects. Lad os se en gang. Hvad synes han om sig
A
selv?
man who has sacrificed luxuries to protect those who need protecting. Pretty good beard, too.
Så Mr. Harper. Jeg tror, jeg har vist billedet til ham. Så vil jeg lige huske.
Boggy is my prime suspect, you know. The creature you're trying to protect.
Protect is the wrong word. If your suspicions were correct, we could both agree he's a creature that doesn't need protecting.
You think he might be the murderer?
I think he's a wild animal, and he wants to be left alone at any cost.
Okay.
The murder victim.
Since last night, yeah. But he was the owner of Boggy's Bog. Did you know him?
Not personally. To be honest, I'm quite glad about it. He seems like a good person.
Det lyder til en
He
kendt
even
Harper.
sympathizes with my cause.
He agrees with your protest? But he works here, right? And he was friends with Remington.
I think that was the only reason he worked here. Maybe he'll see the light now and leave the swamp behind him. Maybe everyone will.
Okay, det begynder at tegne sig lidt spændende alliancer her, så at sige. Det har man noget, det lyder til, at man er fanget midt imellem Remington, som var jægeren herude, der har taget stil for at fange Boggy, og men også sympatiserer med Echos Wars, så at sige.
You're wasting your time with that one.
Nå, okay, jeg kan ikke lige se det. Det var Agent Folder.
Ah yes, Agent Folder. A good man.
You know him?
We get on rather well. And we shared a number of views on the way things will run around here.
Okay. Jeg tænker lige gå ind til ham Harper der. Han var herovre. Vi sikrer os, at vi har vist ham et billede der. Så Jeg har vist ham et billede der. Så måske lige gå tilbage igen til den her lås, og så ellers måske snakke med ham agent, hvor det var noget helt.
I'm impressed, and I'm...
Altså jeg har skrevet ned 73. Kan I kende den? Jeg har koden, før jeg kan hente den, eller hvad?
It's a case.
Spøjken. Så... Jeg fik fortalt det, at der oprindeligt også var udkommet til mobilplatform.
It's a case.
Okay, den går måske bare op, når jeg rammer den rigtige, så.
It's a ghost.
I det tilfælde er det den forkerte lås. Men prøv at se, de her, de binder ham jo faktisk sammen med det her museum heroppe, hvor de har... Hvor blomsten er her nemlig.
I don't think it's a... This side of the museum is surrounded by blue and red flowers. That museum... Wait, is it being held up on wooden supports? It's bizarre. That museum is quite a nice... Which makes it look even more out of place in a swamp. Is it being held up on wooden supports? It's bizarre. It's a stepping stone path that goes past... So... I found these designs for a boggy costume.
Oh, some ridiculous new merchandise for tourists to waste their money on.
No, I believe the murderer was dressed like this last night when they attacked Remington.
If they were trying to scare him out of the swamp, they should have spent more time making an accurate design.
What do you mean?
Well, this design is some bizarre hybrid between the real creature and the cartoon character. It simply hasn't been researched properly.
What's wrong with it?
Well, those flippers? Pure guesswork. Nothing but foolish imagination. Nobody knows what Boggy's feet look like. No footprint has ever been recorded.
So tell me, Special Agent Folder, how would you do a better job researching it if nothing has ever been recorded?
Oh, well, that's... You know, I mean, it's all a matter of taking the time to... It's just that... But there's no way anyone would believe... Nothing but foolishness.
Fedt. You made your case. Vi har jo faktisk et billede af fodsporene.
Is that the missing page of the journal?
I think so.
It's an important artifact. It belongs in a museum.
Yeah, you're not wearing the right hat to be saying that.
Og vi lader en spændende anlæg på Flower Book. Hvad er det for noget?
You're wasting your precious time, detective.
Jeg kan hurtigt huske, den Flower Book var for en. Og var det den, der beskrev de forskellige blomster der? Se engang, han der var jæger. Kan måske godt bruge til noget.
So, you found it. I wonder who else knows about it.
Ja.
Well, this design is some bizarre hybrid between the real creature and the cartoon character.
Okay, det var sådan, vi fik at vide før.
What can you tell me about your relationship with Richard Remington?
We didn't really have one, and now we definitely don't have one. But look, all I can say is that he was a coward who enjoyed watering down history for his own benefit.
What does that mean?
It means there are some chapters of this swamp's history that he never wanted anyone to know about.
Did he like you sniffing around this museum all the time?
I don't think he knew, to be honest. And even if he did, there's nothing he could have done about it. He has no right to this building, he knows that. We both know that.
Why not? It was part of his tourist attraction, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't.
Så. What? Det ville da være helt logisk at spørge ind til den, og så stopper det bare her. Okay. Er der en eller anden måde, jeg kan få dem til at snakke mere om det? Ikke rigtig set ud til. Det synes som jeg skal opdage hans challenge eller noget, for at kunne spørge videre ind til den.
Oh, yes, I know him. He occasionally asks me about the history and biology of the swamp creature. I explained to him what the real Boggy looks like and how they changed his appearance for the cartoon character.
Why did he ask about that?
Because some people are naturally curious. You should give it a try sometime.
What? Jeg skal også nysgerrig, mand. Der kommer dine beskyldninger der.
This person is of no interest to me whatsoever.
Ærligt snak.
If I cared about that person, I would know everything I need to know already. A good example of how Boggy's feet are never shown in any form, they often use that little red bucket to hide them.
Kan det selvfølgelig godt være svært, fordi hvis der sidder nogen og ser med, som ikke har set første del, men jeg tager gerne imod tips, hvis der er et eller andet, så de kommer videre. Der er 93% af casen indtil nu. Du kan selvfølgelig bare gå rundt og snakke med folk om de sidste spørgsmål, vi åbner op for. Jeg tror, vi mangler. Jeg kan godt spørge mig over i starten. Han har jo nogle fif til os, som vi har fået det.
Try and solve every suspect's challenge topic. If you're struggling, don't forget to present profiles and clues to people who might be interested. Oh, and hurry up. It's cold in this boat.
Okay, så det lyder som, at vi skal opspore alle de der challenges til de enkelte folk. Challenge solved, hvis jeg ser her. Den har vi ikke fundet.
Hey.
Okay, den har vi ikke fundet. First everyone, examine everything, present clues and profile.
So.
Hey.
Okay, så mangler faktisk kun hans.
So.
Ser det ud til. For at få den, skal vi under snakke med folk. Og vise dem ting. Og eksamen ting. Jeg tror altså, jeg har eksamen alt. Jeg synes ikke, jeg har gået forbi noget, jeg ikke har. Så klikke på. Klikke på. Det lyder godt mærkeligt. Klikke på. Bare hold det stille.
No, thank you.
Er det så bare spam ting igennem?
If you bring me something with liquid on it, I might be able to help you. You can put that away. I can't help you with it. No, thank you.
Må du lige hjælpe mig her? Du har viden, jeg har
If you
brug for.
bring me something with liquid on it,
Jeg ved ikke helt til, hun er. Til så meget.
show it to someone who doesn't live in a tree.
Vanderpier.
I'm not even sure who that is.
Og så vil jeg ikke være de to andre, så lad os bare lige komme videre. Næste er The Cafe.
I can't help you with that one. Sorry. Why don't you show that to someone else? You don't know everything, I'm afraid.
Okay, han er ikke til så meget hjælp. Ikke lige nu.
It's Mr. Remington's fireplace poker.
Huh?
This slime on the handle. It's familiar for some reason.
Er der en morderen? Tell me.
That's Mr. Remington's old hunting rifle. He usually keeps it around. For whatever reason. He was very fond of that thing. Looks like it was fired recently.
Fik nu. Ifs der. Jeg måske undersøge mine ting egentlig, hvis de går her. Hvad er det her? Læggen der på gulvet. Han får et chok. Skyder efter monstret. Men rammer ikke, selvfølgelig. Den her clang, det er så den er fire poker, der står ved ham. Han kommer til skade. Nu lægger gardinet, falder ned ud af vinduet, ned på kajen. Jeg ikke helt på det der. Jeg ved, hvad det der. Det kunne være, at vi skulle undersøge den her. Okay, der var den her. Så lige hurtigt til at være med her. Og så tænker jeg på at gå ind til ham kameramanden der. Virker.
I don't know very much about them.
Altså nu står der og giver mad til folk, ikke?
It's here a lot. I think he's been putting less effort into his protests recently.
Okay.
Which is a shame. I think it's an admirable cause.
Do you talk to him much?
Not really. Sometimes he likes to talk, just casual conversation. He asks how business is going and what everyone likes to eat, nothing of real importance.
Det er rimelig essentielt, at han hører om, hvad folk godt kan lide at spise, når ham, the murder victim blev forgiftet, før han blev slået ihjel.
You're prime suspect, am I correct?
Well, technically, but I'm not even sure he's real.
Don't worry about that. Real or not, the creature's the most important part of this mystery.
Which one? The cartoon character or the real creature?
Exactly.
Jeg husker det som, at man fik at vide, at den her challenge blev unlocked. Altså for eksempel, hvis nu jeg snakker med ham her, og får nok oplysninger til, at min challenge ved, om the protester bliver unlocked, at så får jeg det at vide. I stedet for, at jeg skal over og undersøge ham. Jeg kan også se det her, kan jeg se. Jeg fik nemlig lige nogle tips der, som jeg tænkte godt kunne huske. Jeg kan også se, måske kræver det, at man har 8 tips for alle sammen, fordi det er 8 for alle sammen. Hun er de to heroppe, så det kan også godt snakke med hende her, Sally Spears. Jeg kan ikke, om jeg har noget.
You have a lot of suspects on that list.
Det er what?
I don't know what to say. I don't know very much about them.
Er der et eller andet der?
I can't help you with that one. Sorry.
Det er okay, hvis du kan pege på
Why don't you show that to someone else?
the murder victim. Så, eller the murderer.
It's a humble gift shop wagon.
Og det så har jeg fundet, dem er den her fik jeg, men jeg har fundet den her.
Wow, it's some kind. There's a strange 2 clues.
Det synes jeg ikke, der er andet, der skulle mangle her. Frifinder. Der er ikke et eller andet essentielt, der ligger rundt på.
I'm not going to worry about how frail that wooden path looks. Nope. It's a humble gift shop wagon.
Nej, så er der bare lige for snakke. Og Sally. Nu skulle jeg engang Sally.
Is that one of your clues? It's nice. You can put it away now.
Goddammit. Hvad vil hun have interesse i?
I have no idea what that is.
I hvert fald.
Where are you keeping all this stuff? In your pockets? Is that one of your clues? It's nice. You can put it away now.
Hun vil bare
I
så
have
ligeglad.
no idea what that is.
Hej Mathias. Velkommen til. Er det den sejeste gift shop, jeg har? Og var jeg også lidt at få lavet en gift shop med fan items, som seerne kan købe. De fandt dig måske, så købe en ansigtsmaske, så de kommer til at ligne mig. Det skal jeg måske lige sige til dem, der ikke ved det, at Red Fang er min kære lillebror, som ofte streamer sammen med mig. Skal det, jeg sagde, måske
I always
så
thought it was weird that his feet are in that little bucket all the time.
It's just part of the character, I guess. I'm surprised they don't sell some sort of boggy foot soaker.
And that would be the one product I'd consider buying. Where are you keeping all this stuff?
Det er lidt svært at spørge om ting, når man ikke har hendes interesse af, fordi jeg er så glad.
Is that one of your clues?
Det var det faktisk.
I have no idea what that is.
Jeg håber, du var lidt mere imponeret end det. Altså her gang, hvad synes du om det?
Yeah, I have a pretty good view of him from here. Anyone supporting animal rights is okay in my book. His protests used to have a bit more energy, though. He spends more time inside his tent these days.
What's he doing in there?
I'm happy to say, I don't know.
There might be something I can ask Echo about.
Okay, Echo, det var ham, the protester dude, jeg ser engang så. As recently acquired. Spends less time. Okay. Echo spends less time. Sådan der. Nu er der tid på at holde protest signs.
Echo spends less time holding the protest sign and more time in his tent.
Så.
I wonder if Echo can tell me what he's been doing that's more important than his protest.
Come on, snakke med ham.
Ah!
I heard you've been spending less time protesting recently and more time in your tent. Normally I wouldn't pry, but it's my job to ask.
Untouched people have even noticed something like that. I usually get the impression everyone else is doing their best to ignore me.
So, you admit it's true?
You can put your notebook away. There isn't really any reason for it. Nothing worth writing down, at least.
Well, if it's not worth writing down, maybe it's worth hearing.
In that case, you'd forget it.
How do you know? Maybe it would echo in my mind.
Look, if you take a guess and get it right, I promise not to deny it.
Let's work out why Echo was hidden away in his tent.
Så skal vi løse en god. Okay.
Notebook time.
Notebook time. I have a silly nickname. Okay. Fordi det regner, fordi det spooks. Hvor er en bogey? Jeg er bange for bogey. Han prøver at undgå the tags med han fedt. Hvad er det der? Bange for spøgelser. Ja, fordi det regner. Skal vi sige bogey? Skal vi sige, at jeg er bange for...
You've been in your tent, hiding from Boggy.
Why not?
What? What then? What for real?
I heard you've been spending and
jeg klarede det som første forsøg, så jeg går ud fra, at det er rigtigt. Jeg har ikke set, hvordan det ser ud, så jeg fejler den.
Notebook time.
Næste tag. Jeg vil gå ud fra, det er rigtigt. Altså ellers så vil den vel sige, det jeg går ud fra.
You've been in your tent because it's been raining.
Why not?
Den skal blive, den tror jeg ikke svær. Eller den er ikke, færdig.
I heard you've been spent and
de hopper fri der.
You can... In that... Look.
Let's work out notebook.
Det er bare det der med, at han var jo fan af Bogey, og han så den som den her tegnefilms karakter, så det er nok mere nuttet i hans syn. Men selvfølgelig, hvis den er blevet suspekt i at have myrdet en mand, så kan det godt være, at han bliver sådan lidt disillusioned, og så simpelthen opfatter den mere som et vildt dyr, og så måske bliver lidt bange for den. Men det er jo kun noget, der foregik i går aftes.
You've been hiding in your tent from the taxman.
Why not?
Hvordan kan jeg få den complete, når jeg har fejlet?
No.
Det kan ikke være det spøgelse, kan det det? Men som det er nu, så ser det ud som, at han...
Notebook time. You've been hiding in your tent because the swamp is haunted.
Why not?
Den er jo klaret for helvede.
Show it to somebody else.
Skal jeg låse op for en mulighed at snakke med ham, måske?
Why are you carrying that around with you?
I have a suspicion it may have been the murder weapon.
Really? I thought Remington was attacked by something with claws, wasn't he? No thanks, my friend. I'm afraid I have no idea. Show it to somebody else.
Kom så, mester.
No thanks, my friend.
Eller ikke.
I'm afraid I have no idea.
Jeg forstår bare overhovedet ikke med den challenge der.
Show it to somebody else.
Hvordan kan jeg klare den challenge? Nå. Det er forkert.
I think it's time I went to talk to Officer James.
Okay, last chapter ser det så ud som. Du forklarer så, hvorfor jeg kunne klare den uden at klare den, så at sige. Alle 4 svarmuligheder så forkert ud, men jeg fik klaret challenge.
The water is black and deep.
Det er så meningen.
You finally returned. Well, did you find the swamp creature? Where is he?
På det her costume. What swamp creature?
I didn't find him.
What? You're not getting paid to wander about aimlessly, Grimoire. Get back out there.
I don't need to.
Yep. Because we got the murderer.
Why not? I thought he was our prime suspect.
Not anymore.
Didn't you find photographic evidence of Buggy from last night? Let me see that photo.
Det er sådan meget shaky.
If that's not Buggy, what is it?
The costume.
I found designs for the costume in a trash can. Not only that, I collected all the pieces of the costume myself. Well, nearly all of them. There's still the one that...
But the footprints at the scene of the crime! How can you prove these don't belong to a real creature? How can you prove these don't belong to a real creature?
Dammit, okay, så må vi vise ham den der hemmelige sted.
What's this? I thought there were no records of a footprint anywhere.
No public records. The footprints at the crime scene don't match the ones on this page. They were just a product of these slippers. A part of the costume.
But Grimoire, this costume, it doesn't have claws of any kind. How do you explain the 3 wounds on the victim's chest?
Godt spørgsmål, mester. Det er den her.
The prongs match up with the wounds perfectly. The handle's even covered in slime, see?
But this swamp slime was one of the reasons Buggy became a suspect in the first place. Surely this only incriminates the creature further.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? But that slime, it's not exactly what you think.
Det er en ikke drik. Monster ikke drik.
This stuff is an uncanny resemblance to the so-called swamp slime. A bunch of it was stolen from the storeroom of the cafe, which reminds me.
What is that exactly?
A poisoned hot dog. It's the second reason that the murderer broke into the storeroom. He put this green powder on the entire supply, just to make sure.
To make sure of what?
At han der går op til kontoret.
To make sure Remington got ill and had to return to his office.
Remington went back to his office? Alone?
Eller han blev skudt jo. Eller der blev skudt. The murder.
I've been looking through your evidence, Grimoire. One piece in particular seems critical to me. I think we need to work out.
Footage? Vincent Vanderpeer filmed it last night, at the exact moment of the murder, I believe.
Well, exactly. I think we can both agree these sounds in the background. They're essential in our mystery. Could you talk me through them? Just rearrange the descriptions on the left to match the sounds on the right.
I will do that, okay.
Drag them around and keep swapping until you're happy with the order.
Det gør vi.
And if you want to hear the sounds again, you can tap on them.
Yes.
No problem. I can always check my case file if I want to go over my notes.
Bitch, please, I got this. Okay. Så creaking. Den der, den er i hvert fald der, ripping, ikke? Passer også med rips, ripping. Boom. Allerede en done. I got this. Den der, den var den sidste så. Culprit opens, den var den øverste. Boom. Den der. Toren. Boom. Den der. Bum. Åbent. Sådan der. Okay, hvor er vi henne nu? Vi har den heroppe. Enters Open Surface Door. Japs. Han skrevet en chok. Blast. Gems of fire. Hunting rifle. Yes.
I think that's it.
Og så er den der. Som ved magi.
Ah, excellent. There's just two small details bothering me. First of all, if Remington ripped off a piece of his curtains, why wasn't it found at the crime scene? What happened to it?
Det er det, der havnede i den der maske. Men hvorfor i den maske?
Turns out the murderer took that piece of fabric and concealed it inside the head of the costume. Then he fled the crime scene to hide all the parts in different areas of the swamp.
Ah, well, that's my problem. If Remington fired his rifle, how did the assailants survive and manage to escape? Did Remington miss his target?
At point blank? A man of his experience? I don't think so. In fact, the answer to that question is the very last link in our chain. The one thing that has eluded me so far. I'll drag the clue items from the left onto my drawing here, and we'll see what happens when we compare the pieces I collected with the original design I found.
Okay, so boom, beautiful. Vi er den her reference, det kan man cancel, hvis man... Okay. Men ikke spare på det. Det var så fedt, at han lige tegner sådan en tentakel op af... lige stak op af halsen på den. Yes, så de her beautiful leggings. Maler faktisk kroppen på den.
Wait, you never found the body piece, the torso.
Det der blev skudt.
You're right, and I never would have found it. Not lying around. Not like the others.
Den er inde i det skide telt. Men vent lidt, hvis de siger, at han har brugt mere tid i teltet for nylig, end han har brugt ude på at demonstrere, ikke? Og så for nylig, det dækker over, jamen det er egentlig bare dagen i dag. What? For nylig, det burde det være en længere periode. Men så kan jeg vide, om han så er blevet ramt ham med demonstranten.
What does this have to do with the murderer surviving the rifle shot?
This torso is probably made up of some thick material. Something covering the culprit's entire upper body. I believe it may have even been enough to
soften the impact from a bullet. Aha!
Exactly.
Well, let's put your theory to the test. Where is that last piece of the costume?
Jeg tror sgu den inde i det telt der. Jeg tror den er inde i det telt derovre.
How? We looked everywhere. Not a single clue.
Simple. He's still wearing it.
I don't know what you want with me. Sounds like you two were smart enough to uncover the real criminal in this swamp, and lucky enough to have somebody else deal with him for you. You worked it out. He had his rifle on him. He got half a glance at me and pulled the trigger without hesitation.
But why would he do that? You were dressed as Buggy. He shouldn't be pointing his gun at a unique scientific specimen, not to mention his main attraction.
You're right. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, does it? Not unless you're in on the secret.
Okay, hvad så? Der er en anden, der glemte at fortælle mig, at en eller anden var i. Det er ham der glemte at fortælle mig. Fordi det er ham, der optog. Han tog et billede af
Bobby Burrow forgot to tell me that Echo was Boggy in disguise. What is that supposed to mean? A secret that Remington kept hidden in his office.
Remington? Okay. Ham der var det her for hånd. Men hvem var det, der glemte at fortælle mig det? Var der en, jeg glemte at fortælle mig? Hvem skulle have fortalt mig, at han var på jagt efter ham. Han har selvfølgelig ikke selv sagt det. Han er også død jo. Ham der glemte at fortælle mig det. Og police file måske. Nej. Jeg tror det er den der. Hvem var det, der glemte at fortælle mig det? Hvem skulle fortælle mig det? Var det måske Echo, der skulle gjort det?
Echo forgot to tell me that the hunting photo was here to hunt Boggy. I'm losing.
Kan det så ikke lige den der? The hunting photo is proof that. Sådan der. Den var den der.
The hunting photo leads me to believe Richard Remington was here to hunt Boggy. A secret society, an order of hunters, seeking out mysterious and elusive creatures.
The order goes further than this one man, and much further than this one swamp.
The whole thing is kind of distressing. I knew something was wrong as soon as I stepped into that office.
I'm glad you've finally come around. It's not just
But what about Remington? He was a member of this order?
He made Boggy his own personal project, his own obsession. For years he hunted the creature, the potential perfect addition to his collection.
But he owned the tourist attraction. He set it up himself, didn't he?
He did. It was just his way of forming a legal loophole. Since the area became protected, he and his friends were unable to come here for hunting anymore. Boggy's Bog was just a front for his own little game. A man pursuing a creature.
A creature that might not even exist.
And that's why Remington kept a rifle nearby at all times?
Well, exactly. He didn't want to take any chances.
Now, don't you see? I did this place a service. Did Boggy a service. That creature, he can live in peace again.
Can he? You tried to frame him for murder. You wanted everyone to think he was some kind of ruthless predator?
Well, think about it. Once he became suspected of murder, they'd have no choice but to shut this whole place down. Everyone would finally realize they had no business here.
But he's not a killer.
But he's not a killer. You're the one who...
Detective.
It's...
It's finished. Look, don't be angry. You should be glad. It's finally time to leave the swamp. You have another job to do.
I don't know.
Not that it makes any difference to somebody like you, but I never intended to kill him. Just to scare him. Convince him Boggy wasn't going to let him live here in peace any longer. But, true to form, he had his rifle on him. You worked out the rest yourself.
It makes a difference. Jeg ved om... Jeg ved om det egentlig vil tælle som et tilfælde af selvforsvar, fordi han trappede godt nok op til ham med Boggy kostymet på, men han havde ikke selv et modvåben med. Det tog han jo på gerningsstedet, og det var først efter han blev skudt på af den myrdede. Jeg kan man selvfølgelig sige, at han tilgik hans kontor, som var Remingtons ejendom. Men ja. Nå, hvad var det han sagde? Makes a difference. Gør det vel lige?
It makes a difference.
Well, Mr. Everstone, I'm afraid you'll still have to come with us. Fortunately, there's a police station just a few miles down the...
Hey, wait!
Boggy. Det var den vi så i starten. Det var de øjne vi så i starten. Oh my god. That epic plot twist.
Aha! Looks like you solved more than one mystery tonight.
Oh my god, så fik jeg den. Det er en lille smule ned for at spille sig ud. Whoop, op for mig selv, sådan der. Så vil vi klare mysteriet. Åbenbart ham manden vi fandt til allersidst, der var The Murderer. Og så viste det sig så ham der var blevet myrdet, han var større, for en faktisk en bad guy. En bad guy. In disguise. Så der spillet der klaret på små 3 timer, kan jeg se. Forholdsvis kort spil. Godt ønske mig, det var længere.
Well, what did they decide to do?
We had Mr. Everstone questioned. He was happy to tell us everything he knew. A number of rumors going around the department have been confirmed.
And Remington's office?
Searched down to the last detail. And well, we agree with you. But I know what you're thinking. I'd love to put an end to it, just the same as you. But there's always...
Are we going after them?
We'd better be.
Så vil jeg hacke sig ind på vores telefonsamtale. Men indtil videre, så findes der ikke nogen efterfølger til spillet her. Det skulle dog åbenbart være en efterfølger til et Flash-spil, som jeg måske godt kunne overveje at prøve at opspore. Ud for man kan spille gratis på deres hjemmeside. Men der er ikke kommet nogen efterfølger til det endnu. Så det er forholdsvis kort spil på 3 timer. En enkelt case. Puzzlesene var også lige lovligt nemme, og sagen overordnet set var egentlig også forholdsvis nem at gennemskue, selvom den var en lille smule indviklet. Så det må gerne være lidt højere. Men ellers var det en hyggelig nok oplevelse. Så håber jeg, må have det godt derude. Så smutter jeg den videre. Så må jeg have en rigtig god mandag. Hold jer munter. Ses.